Welcome to GSSI's online outdoor education refresher in preparation for Troop Camp training. In this module, we will refresh you on the basic information you need as a volunteer in Girl Scouts of Southwest Indiana to engage the girls in planning and implementing valuable outdoor experiences. You will still want to review the current manuals for each class. Since this is a refresher module, I'll go at a fairly quick pace since most of the material should simply be a review, though some things may have changed or you may have forgotten things in the time since you took basic outdoor skills and on-the-go classes. Feel free to pause this module as needed or repeat any portion that is not clear. Once you complete the Troop Camp training, your on-the-go and basic outdoor skills certifications will automatically be extended for another 3 years. Plus, with Troop Camp training certification, you will also be able to take them camping beyond the backyard. This certification is good for 3 years. To recertify, you will simply need to take a refresher online module and test before December 31st of the year closest to the 3rd anniversary. Outdoor education is a cherished tradition in Girl Scouting, so let's start by reviewing how camping and outdoor and overnight activities fit in with today's Girl Scout leadership experience. The GSLE model guides everything we do, from troop meetings to field trips and camping, and makes Girl Scouting different than other extracurricular programs. It is an emphasis on purposeful leadership throughout the program that allows us to know and identify when girls are developing their leadership potential. You may be wondering how building a campfire can develop a shy brownie into a future CEO. It won't, unless you actively use the Girl Scout activities and processes. As girls try new experiences, especially in the outdoors, they benefit in 5 important ways. You have already seen as a girl has her first slumber party or first hike, the confidence she starts to build in herself and her abilities. As your troop practices leave no trace behind principles while hiking and camping, the girls expand their positive values. As the girls help plan activities, they continue their path of discovery. They will try new things and either be successful or learn from the experience. Overnight and outdoor experiences are a great way to incorporate team-building activities into your troop. With your guidance, they will learn how to constructively resolve conflicts and build healthy relationships. And as challenges arise during planning or implementation, and you know they will, with your help, the girls will be able to examine problems from many viewpoints and think critically about solving them. To truly take advantage of outdoor experiences to build leadership in our girls, we must use the 3 Girl Scout processes. Girl-led is just what it sounds like. Girls play an active part in figuring out the what, when, how, and why of the activities. Learning by doing is a hands-on learning process that engages girls in continuous cycles of action and reflection. This means that they get to fully explore an activity and then reflect on it so they actually learn from the experience. Through cooperative learning, girls work together towards shared goals in an atmosphere of respect and collaboration. So as you review the material in this module and practice your skills at the overnight training, look for ways that you can incorporate these processes into the camping experience. There are many ways to incorporate outdoor experiences into the Girl Scout leadership experience, and as a volunteer, you have lots of tools to help you. For example, there's the Badge Explorer on GSUSA's website, where you and the girls can explore the badges by grade level and topic so they can focus on some great activities that will fit perfectly with their outdoor adventure. You have the Volunteer Toolkit, available to all troop leaders. There are new ideas for incorporating outdoor experiences into badges that you wouldn't normally think of as being outdoorsy. Just look for the evergreen tree icons. Several journeys even have specific tie-ins with outdoor programming. Girls can learn in the outdoors to earn naturalist and outdoor skill badges. But there's also the new Troop Camp badges available in 2017. Just like those Troop Camp badges, there are other outdoor badges that girls themselves have voted and chosen. The girls can even complete a journey like our new outdoor journey. Details are on the Volunteer Toolkit as year plans for daisies, brownies, and juniors, and as PDFs of meetings for cadets, seniors, and ambassadors. Both include skill building and leadership development, as well as take action projects for a well rounded experience. But remember, badges are about education, not decoration. Badges should represent that a girl has learned something well enough that she can share the skills with others, so it may take more than just one camp out. Now that we have reviewed how overnight and outdoor experiences can help further our mission to build girls of courage, confidence, and character, let us look at some of the details of how we accomplish this in a safe and effective way. As a lead adult volunteer for your group of girls, GSSI expects you to know and follow all rules and regulations and keep current with those. Remember, these are for the safety of the girls and our volunteers. It is important that as a certified troop camper for your group, you be familiar with the safety and planning procedures and resources. As you know, these two resources can be found on our website and are critical for all activities. The handbook has tons of reference materials. For example, Chapter 3 on Engaging Girls can help you understand healthy development in girls, promoting fairness in your group, managing conflict, and more. Chapter 4 has a summary of GSUSA's 12 safety guidelines, which all adult volunteers should be familiar with. There are also sections on transportation, permission forms, and emergency preparedness. The appendices contain council policies governing activities, plus guidance for volunteers planning outdoor and travel experiences for their girls. As you and the girls plan a specific activity, you will need to check out its checkpoint, such as for outdoor cooking. Two other resources you will find helpful are the class manuals. The most current editions of the On-the-Go and Basic Outdoor Skills manuals are available on the Council website. The facilitators will have a few copies in case yours is more than a couple of years old. You will want to review all of these resources regularly. All 4 resources can be found on the website under the Resources tab. Simply select the resource you want to review. Under Outdoor Education, not only will you find On-the-Go and Basic Outdoor Skills manuals, but you will also find a link to some GSUSA videos. These short videos ranging from 3 to 6 minutes are also available directly on GSUSA's website. They are great for volunteers and for girls to watch, from tips on developing outdoor skills to taking journeys outside. All the way to planning your first troop campout, these videos cover specific skills like campsite setup, cooking outdoors, leaving no trace, fire building, and even songs and games. Be sure to use all these amazing resources that you have at your disposal to create amazing outdoor experiences for your girls. As you know, Girl Scouts has strict requirements for our volunteers to ensure appropriate supervision at all times during the activity. We expect our volunteers to always provide positive role models for the girls in their care. Alcohol is never allowed at Girl Scout events with girls. Firearms are not allowed unless you have special permission from council for marksmanship activities, and smoking is only allowed outside of the presence of girls. All individuals participating in the event should be registered Girl Scout members. We always encourage parents and guardians, both male and female, to register as members. If anyone is not a registered member, for example, if you're conducting a family campout, the group must make arrangements to purchase extra insurance. For the safety of our girls and our volunteers, all adults who could possibly be alone with girls, official chaperones, those transporting girls, or accompanying the group on any overnight event, must have approved background screening on file at the council office. Check your troop member community online to verify that all the adults in your group have applied and have eligible and current background screening. Always review the number of approved adults needed for a given activity. The girl-adult ratio chart can be found in multiple places, including the Volunteer Essentials Handbook and the Safety Activity Checkpoints. We have already touched on several aspects of safety planning, but let's go into a bit more detail. At all times, even during regular meetings, your troop should have access to a well-stocked first aid kit. This is especially important if you are out camping. The Volunteer Essentials Handbook has a section on first aid kits, including a link to a list of suggested items. GSUSA recommends that an individual certified in first aid and CPR be present at all times. A first aider may be required depending on the nature of an activity and location. When deciding if you need a first aid and CPR certified adult, consider how, where, and for how long you'll be traveling, as well as what facilities will exist at your destination. A first aid and CPR certified adult will be required for outdoor camping and cooking. Certification in first aid and CPR must be from an approved organization, such as American Red Cross or American Heart Association. More information is available in the Volunteer Essentials Handbook and in the Safety Activity Checkpoints. Another item that you will want to be prepared for emergencies is the Emergency Procedures Card. Each year, the Council updates and distributes a wallet-sized card which describes the procedures to follow in case of emergency, such as injury or accident. They also list the after-hours contact numbers for designated staff. You should always have this card when acting as a GSSI volunteer. You can carry it in your wallet, in a binder with the girl emergency information, or in the first aid kit. Cards will be available at your troop camp training class, and extras are always available at the council and online. You should also have an incident report to record information on any accident or injury. As you and the girls discuss your activity, it is important that you prepare for emergencies by discussing what can go wrong. Depending on the age of the girls and the destination of the group, you should discuss the plans. For example, you might prepare for a fire emergency by having the girls locate the closest exit when they visit a new building. Prepare for severe weather by checking the forecast and having a weather alert radio and a safe shelter area. Plan on how to prevent a lost girl or adult by establishing buddy systems and counting protocols. Be prepared to handle injuries and talk with the girls and brainstorm how to handle strangers. Again, the degree in which the girls participate in the discussion will depend on their age and maturity, but all adults at the activity should be aware of all plans. Travel is another aspect of risk management. How parents decide to transport girls between their homes and Girl Scout meeting places is each parent's individual decision and responsibility. But for planned Girl Scout field trips and other activities outside the normal time and place, be sure to review the transportation guidelines in the Volunteer Essentials Handbook, including driver and vehicle requirements. Each driver should know the destination and have a map, but also be prepared for the unexpected. Every driver should fill out a vehicle information form and sign that they agree to the Safe Driver's Pledge. When we reviewed the GSLE at the beginning of this module, we talked about how camping lends itself to the Girl Scout processes of girl-led, learn by doing, and cooperative learning. In this section, we'll talk about some of the ways that you can use those processes as you plan with the girls. As you know, there are many things to consider as you and the girls plan your activity. As with all Girl Scout activities, you should let them do as much as possible. After all, Girl Scouting is girl-led, so be sure to let them lead, even if it's easier for you to do all the planning. Give them the opportunity to make decisions, allow them to make mistakes in a safe environment, and learn from the experiences. By the time you are taking this class, you've seen the girls' progression and know them fairly well. As we discuss these concepts, though, remember that activities with a group have different dynamics than with individuals. A girl who normally takes long hikes with her family may suddenly tire if her best friend doesn't like to hike. Or a girl who may cook responsibly at her house with her family may not be as calm and careful when cooking with a group of giggly, distracting girls. When gauging readiness for campfires and outdoor cooking, start with the basics. You should have already been doing these with the girls, but just as a reminder, start out by practicing the use of capers and patrols with indoor activities. Before attempting outdoor cooking, the girls should learn basic cooking techniques indoors. The girls should learn about safe food handling techniques, including hand washing and food storage. The girls must also learn about safe cooking methods and how to handle kitchen tools and equipment, including using sharp knives and working with hot pots and pans. What you teach and let the girls do will depend on their age and maturity level. Always let them learn and practice in a safe and supervised environment first. When you and the girls feel comfortable with indoor cooking, try some simple outdoor cooking where everything will be a bit harder and less convenient, but a lot more fun and tasty. If you are taking this class, you have probably already done local day trips and spent extended time outdoors to see how the girls deal with outdoor environments. You should also have already done overnights, starting with a slumber party before trying a sleepover or lock-in at a new place outside your immediate community. It is now time to progress to the outdoors, which has a new set of noises and experiences. Once they are comfortable with outdoor sleeping, venture further afield, such as going to Camp Koch. Every time you have a new girl in your group, you should start with an indoor sleepover to gauge her individual readiness as well as the group's readiness with the changed dynamics. As you and the girls plan your overnight camping experience, you'll want to understand the purpose, since it will guide the rest of your planning. Discuss if the girls want to experience something new or something they're familiar with. Are the girls interested in learning a particular skill or visiting a specific place for a special reason? Is there a tie to the journey or badge? Do they want to use the time to get to know each other better and become a closer team? Keep this purpose in mind as you and the girls evaluate possible locations and activities. When planning for a location, there are many issues to consider. As usual, safety is the first one. Is the location prepared to handle security emergencies? For example, does the location have safety protocols in case of weather and medical emergencies or missing persons? Is there a reliable method of communication to emergency responders? Is there a safety shelter in case of bad weather? When you and the girls arrive at the location, be sure to do a safety sweep to identify potential hazards. A great first activity, even before you start to unload equipment, is to do a quick tour of the property. Have the girls brainstorm what hazards or dangers they could encounter and how they should respond. On that tour, you should also set boundaries on where they are allowed to go and how you are implementing the buddy system. Be specific on where your girls can go and how many buddies are needed at different times. If you are visiting a location with artificial or natural bodies of water, you follow extra precautions. If the girls plan on doing any activities in or near the water, be sure to check the appropriate safety activity checkpoint. In most cases, a lifeguard will be required. Locations must be approved by council to ensure that they meet safety guidelines. We are very lucky to have many great outdoor sites in our council that have already been approved for use. For example, the state and county parks are pre-approved for Girl Scout use, as are many of our local campgrounds. If you are unsure whether a specific location has been approved, contact the council office. We appreciate when volunteers open their properties to our girls, and we do not want to inconvenience them. But there are a few issues you need to address. The property must be covered by insurance, the homeowner must be a registered and approved volunteer, and all adults staying overnight, even if they don't plan on interacting with the girls, must be background screened. If you're on-the-go training, you learned the importance of planning for safety and privacy when considering sleeping arrangements. It is important that adults be positioned for best supervision and that the girls know where the adults are. We encourage men to participate in overnight activities, but special provisions must be made so they have their own sleeping space exclusively for males. Female adults never share beds, sleeping bags, or tents with any child other than their own. For girls to share beds with other girls, each one must have written permission from their parent or guardian stating exactly which girls they are allowed to share space with. Never have just one adult sharing space with girls. Check your on-the-go manual for further details on arranging sleeping arrangements for the safety of everyone involved. In addition to those safety considerations when choosing a location, you will also want to take into account the experience level of the group and what they may feel comfortable with. Cost will, of course, be a factor in your decision, but make sure you understand what fees, if any, are involved. What kind of restroom facilities are available? What are the regulations around fire building? Is there running water? What amenities are available on site or nearby? When planning any overnight, either indoors or outdoors, review the on-the-go manual for other important reminders, such as planning for privacy to allow the girls to change, rules on smoking, alcohol, firearms, etc. Please note that Camp Koch is completely smoke-free. Speaking of Camp Koch, we are very fortunate to have a great council-owned camp property near Cannleton, where you will spend the weekend exploring during your class. There's a section on our website that has information on the camp, how to make reservations, equipment available, and cost. Check it out before the class if you have time. We have reviewed a lot of information. The girls should be allowed to participate in all these decisions as fits their age level. Planning meals is one of the easiest opportunities for girls to lead and learn by doing. You will definitely want to guide them, but this is an area where they can plan and safely learn by making mistakes. Encourage them to try new things, especially healthy alternatives that they may not try otherwise. As they plan their menus, be sure to ask about dietary restrictions, such as for allergies or religious reasons. Discuss with them ahead of time how they will make the choice of menus. As they decide on menus, they will need to know what cooking facilities will be available for their skill level and what storage and refrigeration will be needed and available. Remember, the Basic Outdoor Skills Manual has useful tools and tips for menu planning. Another area that is great for girls to lead, learn by doing, and engage in cooperative learning is planning the activities. Reminding them of the purpose of their overnight will focus their enthusiasm. Depending on the location chosen, there may be program resources on site or nearby. Remember to have them check safety activity checkpoints for additional guidance and resources. And even though they may not think it's needed, encourage them to schedule some quiet time. Since weather is not something you can always predict, be sure to discuss with the girls what their bad weather alternatives might include. And while the girls should be doing most of the planning, I would suggest you have some ideas in your back pocket to pull out at a moment's notice if needed. In Girl Scouting, we advocate minimal impact camping and leaving no trace. So as you and the girls develop your activity ideas, be sure the girls understand that they should enjoy wildlife from a distance, and that they should not pick live plants or flowers. Not only should they not leave trash, but they may want to take a bag with them on their hike and pick up any trash they find. You should also try to implement the 3 R's when planning your activities. Your Basic Outdoor Skills Manual contains more information you can share with the girls. Depending on the program activities the girls chose, they will need to determine lists of equipment and supplies and develop a budget. All great organizational and leadership skills to have. The safety activity checkpoints have examples of equipment and gear you will need for many activities, and the on-the-go manual has examples of packing lists based on your location. The girls can brainstorm their packing list, and the first item should be appropriate clothing for the season and for the forecasted weather. Although we always hope for good weather on outdoor outings, be sure that the girls are prepared if there's any chance of rain. Do not allow umbrellas, since they can become a safety hazard. In all cases, be sure the girls understand the importance of comfortable, closed shoes for their protection, safety, and comfort. Although we encourage the girls to take personal responsibility, the adults should plan on taking extra items of certain things just in case, since this could become a safety issue. Also, as an adult volunteer, you should never dispense medications of any kind to a girl without the express written permission of the parent or guardian. Be sure that the parent or guardian brings the medication in its original container, along with written permission and dosing instructions. They should hand the medicine to the designated first aider for the outing. We recommend that you not allow, or at least severely limit, the use of electronics. But the final decision is yours after discussion with parents and girls. Depending on the given activities, you and the girls should check the safety activity checkpoint for that particular activity and use their list of gear as the basis for your equipment packing list. When preparing your cooking supplies list with the girls, be sure to include everything you might need. The Basic Outdoor Skills Manual contains some suggestions on items to pack. Check with your location to make sure what equipment is available at the site. For example, Camp Koch provides most basic equipment for outdoor cooking, and you'll discuss this during the class. Most locations, however, will not provide food ingredients, so be sure to include absolutely everything you will need. Just a few more reminders before we are ready for our weekend of fun. While forms are not nearly as much fun as the previous topics, they are critical to the safety of our members and the integrity of our programs. All of these forms are available on our website. As you and the girls develop your plans, you will need to use the special activity application, which includes a handy checklist. This form is required anytime your program plans include travel outside the council jurisdiction, activities with special risk, such as fire building, swimming, or horseback riding, or any overnight stays. This form, which is available online, must be approved by council before permission forms go home, so be sure to allow the requested 4 weeks. Staff will make sure that you are following safety guidelines and are using approved vendors with good safety records and appropriate insurance. Remember that for some activities, specific certifications or additional requirements exist, such as having certified lifeguards for most water activities. This is where you will need to input your on-the-go basic outdoor skills or troop camp training certification information. This is a great form for older girls to help you complete so they can start gaining experience in planning safe activities. You are all probably already very familiar with parent permission requirements, but remember, annual permission forms should be kept confidential and updated since they contain medical and emergency information for the girls. These forms should be accessible during any Girl Scouting event. Parents and guardians should be informed of the details of an activity by using a summary form or email detailing the particulars of an event. Once the parent knows that information about the event, they should sign and submit an activity permission for that specific program. You hope to never need this category, but you should always carry with you forms to be used in case of emergency. Be sure to prepare and make copies of an activity roster so you can quickly reach your emergency contact person and have them contact parents as needed. Adults do not need permission forms, of course, but they should still fill out medical forms for themselves to be used in case of emergency. As discussed earlier, all adults should have the GSSI card outlining who to contact and what to do in case of an incident or emergency. An incident report will help you collect the incident information and witness statements. I hope that you found this refresher helpful, either because it made you think of things in a different way or because it reassured you that you were right on track. Your next step is to review the materials, including the updated manuals for on-the-go and basic outdoor skills. Be sure to take your copies with you to the fun weekend at Camp Koch. If you have any questions about any of the materials, do not hesitate to contact me at the council office or ask your volunteer facilitator at the overnight training. Thank you so much for your time and dedication to bringing the benefits of camping to our girls. See you at camp!